Okay. Howdy readers, I'm Jason and this is Kelly from Books I'm Not Reading.
Hey guys!
And we are doing the Cozy Reading Night, and we're doing it one night later than it was scheduled to be done. Cozy Reading Night was started by Lauren and the Books. And I think she does it twice a year.
Is it only twice? I thought it was quarterly.
Well, maybe it's quarterly. I thought it was twice a year.
This is supposed to be the autumn one, but like, yeah, there's snow outside.
Yeah, although the snow has been melting. Yeah, so we were going to do this last night along with the other people on BookTube who joined in for it. But Kelly wasn't feeling well yesterday morning, so she stayed home from work, and I stayed home from work yesterday and just kind of kept an eye on her and looked after her. And so we were both pretty exhausted from that. She's feeling better today. And yeah, so we have a spread of food here. We got two different kinds of hummus and baby carrots and brie and...
The brie is mine.
The brie is Kelly's. And Triscuits, and I made some biscuits, which reminds me I should get some marmalade for the biscuits.
I just want to say, like, this is like our dinner, by the way, too. So, like, we're not, yeah, we didn't, like, have dinner, and then now we're gonna, like, the whole evening eat this. Like, this is like a meal.
If we were going to be doing that, then I would be sneezing.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
So-
can't have that. So.
And then I made some Triscuit crackers with a little mascarpone cheese on them and black olives. And then we have
They're not blueberries.
some turkey, some turkey summer sausage. And Kelly's drinking water, and I'm drinking not a gin and tonic, but just a tonic water. And yeah, so that's that. And,
Should we talk about what we're gonna read?
sure. Yeah, what are you going to read?
So I've got two books here. I'm about a third of the way through Ken Hareff's Eventide. If you watch my channel, at the end of last year I read Plain Song by him and I just loved it. So Jason, for one of his projects, is reading Benediction, which is kind of the third book in this trilogy. Although you don't have to read them in order,
Yeah.
although
I've only read
I think it
Benediction.
helps. But anyway, so he's going to be reading Benediction next month, so I thought I would try to sneak this in before we read that. And then the other book I have, which is why we have Brie, is because I have A Year in Paris by John Baxter, and I think I'm going to start this tonight. Like, it looks really, I don't know, like it's going to be fast. I could be wrong. But this was sent to me, because this was published this year, and this was sent to me by Steve Donahue. So, thanks, Steve.
Steve, old Grandpa Steve. And then I'm not going to start this tonight, but Mark Jackson from Words Everywhere and I are going to be doing a buddy read of this. And this is Albion, The Origins of the English Imagination by Peter Ackroyd. And so I'm just going to look through it tonight and see if I can't figure out a schedule for us to do the buddy read. And then I'm going to be finishing The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells at long last. And then I've been reading, I can't pronounce her last name, it's Mary Shibist, maybe? But it's she's a poet, and this is one of her collections called Incarnadine. And it's a very odd-shaped book, partly because, if you'll see, she does some interesting things with form. I don't know if you can see that. Walk in. So, yeah, so that's a poem in the shape of a sun or something.
A star.
A star, or a kaleidoscope, or it could be any various things. But anyway, so I'll be reading some of her poetry tonight. We're halfway through our cozy reading night, and we thought we'd just take a little break. I made Kelly this tea that I make her every night. So
Magical.
here's the thing. She calls it love tea or magical tea. So Kelly really loves chai, but chai, as those of you who drink chai know, has caffeine in it. And while I can drink black coffee right before I go to bed and it doesn't do
He totally does.
anything to me, I'm actually going to make a cup of coffee here shortly. And it's strong coffee, it's not decaffeinated. So if you buy Celestial Seasonings Bengal Spice Tea, which is caffeine free, make a cup of that and put in like a tablespoon or a tablespoon and a half of honey and let it steep. Mix it up, take the tea bag out and put in a splash of half and half. And it tastes like chai. And it doesn't...
It tastes just like it.
And it doesn't have any caffeine.
Yeah.
So that's Kelly's nighttime
beverage.
Yes, so...
You forgot to mention earlier.
What?
Our
The new PJs?
yeah.
Yeah, we got new pajamas just for
Cozy Reading.
the Cozy Reading Night videos. So
that's how committed we are.
yeah. But yeah, I just thought we could just talk for a minute about what we're reading. So I spent the first hour and a half reading The War of the Worlds, and I've got, I don't know, 27 pages left, I think, in the book. And it's funny, I actually marked something with a sticky that I thought I would mention. On page 145 in the Penguin edition, it says, in the end, the red weed succumbed almost as quickly as it had spread, a cankering disease due, it is believed, to the action of certain bacteria presently seized upon it. Now, by the action of natural selection, all terrestrial plants have acquired a resisting power against bacterial diseases. They never succumb without a severe struggle, but the red weed rotted like a thing already dead. So with that mention of natural selection, I feel like I am exempted from Steve's mandatory read-along of Charles Darwin
Oh, okay.
this month, since I got my little taste of natural selection in H.G. Wells. So that's good, right? I mean, that was a big book, and it was going to be difficult to Jenga it into my reading schedule for the month. If the rest of you are looking for some way to get out of the mandatory read-along, just pick up The War of the Worlds and read Chapter 6, Book 2.
Or just read what you want to read.
Yeah, or read what you want to read. That's always a possibility too. But I was going to ask you, what do you like best about Kent Harif as a writer?
So yeah, I read a good chunk of this, the first half. Let's see. I was hoping to get to page 200, but I'm about 20 pages short. So I'll just have to do that later. But I really think he captures small town life, rural Western life, and also like his characters are. There's not very many characters. I mean, which I suppose it's a small town, and so. But he really chooses who he's going to focus on, and they are, whether they're a child or whether they're, an old retired man or whatever, like, you really feel like you understand them. And I also think, like, there are good people and bad people, but he really does a good job of kind of that gray area too. Like, there's two characters in this book that, like, at times you're like, what are you thinking? Like, what are you doing, moron? And, there are other times where you feel for them. You feel so sad for them that their life is the way it is. So, yeah, it's, there are just at least one character at the moment that I have no sympathy for. So we'll see if that holds true to the end. But yeah, it's a really good book. It's a really, really good book.
I think you'll see, without spoiling anything, you'll see that in Benediction as well.
Especially since all know the characters.
All right. Lay off there, lady. But no, there's like I said, I won't spoil anything. But there's a character in Benediction who does something that feels rougher and more unnecessary and more cruel, I suppose, than you'd like. But it's a character that you have tremendous sympathy for, doing something that is unsympathetic. And yeah.
That's a good way to describe it too. Yeah.
But yeah, Benediction is still the only Canterif that I've read, but I read that, I want to say 2 years ago, and so that would have been, 2017, I think. And that was my best reading experience of that year. The best book that I read that year. So I'm looking forward to revisiting it next month.
I'm sure you've seen by now we have a visitor.
Yeah, he has a little head
Little
turned under.
baby Blue is here. Yeah.
Yeah, he loves laying on Kelly's lap when she's sprawled out on the couch like she is most evenings.
See, but when Jason lays here, he doesn't put a blanket. You have to have a blanket on top. At least on the couch anyway, that's the way to draw the cat in. And Jason won't put a blanket on, so the cat doesn't.
Yeah, well, see, I don't need a blanket in bed.
In bed,
Blue just gets up into bed and just curls up with me like a little teddy bear.
His bed anyway. So
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna put the Canterif down just for a little bit and start a year in Paris. I'm one of those people I don't need much persuasion to if we had like a Paris readathon. Right? Like maybe BookTube should pick a different city every year. Or a different country, and like if we had a reading related event that was about France or Paris, I'm there. So yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna dive back into our books.
Yeah.
And we will see you guys again soon. At the end of the evening tonight, I think we're going to make a BookTube Mad Libs video.
But only if it's funny. So if it's not funny,
then it won't appear. But if it is funny, you'll find that video on Kelly's channel, Books I'm Not Reading. So we will talk to you guys again very soon.
Okay.
Adios.